Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ultimate Fashion History for an episode of Fave Film Fashion. This time we're going to be looking at the top 12 iconic men's suits in the movies. This is a special episode because not only is it an episode, it's also an anniversary card because today is my 1-year wedding anniversary to Rupert, who, as you all know, I met through the Ultimate Fashion History, so I thought instead of getting him a cheesy Hallmark card, I'd make him a UFH video on a subject he loves. He is a great sartorialist. He loves fashion, and boy, can he wear a suit. A year ago today, I joined my life to his and brought along Django, my cat. So, happy first anniversary. What was my rubric for this? Well, iconic. I figured that an iconic movie suit is one you would recognize even if the actor wasn't in it. 2, it had to be a true suit, a ditto suit, i.e. the jacket had to match the pants and be made of the same fabric. Why 12? Well, there's 12 months in a year. And I've been married a year, right? Before I began, I asked the Ultimate Fashion History Facebook group for some ideas and suggestions, and boy oh boy did they come back with some good ones. Over 80 great movie suits. I couldn't fit everybody's suggestion into this video, but coming up soon there will be a top 12 iconic men's suits in movies part 2. I'm also going to do a ladies edition, so if your suggestion didn't make it to this video, don't worry, it'll make it to a subsequent episode. And I have to give a shout out to this website, Banff Style. Do you know it? It's fantastic. And the best way to describe it is it's like Fave Film Fashion, but only for menswear. I have been using Banff Style as a research source for years, but never more so than in this episode. Okay, I call it a top 12, but there's no real countdown here. It's just 12 suits that I really like. Oh, cover me with kisses, baby, as we go back to 1980, American Gigolo, and this fantastic suit, as worn by Richard Gere, this low double-breasted Armani with a slightly padded shoulder. It seems I am always contradicting myself on the Ultimate Fashion History because fashion history is always contradicting itself, it seems. Just last week, I was saying that fashion doesn't completely change and begin on the first day of the year in a new decade. But look at this suit. This is 1980. It's so 80s. There's no way that this is a suit from the 70s. I love it. What's up next? From 1974 and The Great Gatsby, I give you Robert Redford looking pretty in pink with his iconic 3-piece pink linen suit with wide notched lapels and that absolutely fabulous double-breasted waistcoat. The costumes are by Theone V. Aldridge, but they're also very close to my family's heart because my dad was approached to be a consultant on The Great Gatsby, which he was, and he went uncredited. And boy, haven't we had to hear about that for the past 45 years. The main event of this suit, I always think, is that fabulous waistcoat. It has 3 rows of white buttons, wide notched lapels, and welted pockets. The Great Gatsby debuted at the height of the Deco revival, and look at the trouser here of this suit on the right that Robert Redford is donning. Old sport. Theone gives a suggestion of the 1920s Oxford bag here, but it actually reads more like a very wearable 1970s flair. His wardrobe got a lot of attention at the time. Look at this cover of GQ, Gatsby Flair with that pink suit. And I'm so glad that in the Baz Luhrmann remake, the pink suit was given a little nod with lovely Leonardo's chalk stripe version. Men in pastels, you can't go wrong. And yes, I am still working on my Miami Vice Fave Film Fashion. I promise that is in the works and I'll get it to you soon. Up next, another one of my favorite movie suits. Maybe not quite as stylish, but it certainly has its own élan. Are You Serious, Clark? From 1989's Christmas Vacation with costumes by Michael Kaplan, I give you Cousin Eddie's Christmas dinner suit. The two-piece blue polyester with wide splayed collar teamed exquisitely with the polyester shirt with a butterfly motif. Brilliant costume that I think always suggests that, yes, even white trash dress up and put on their interpretation of a suit for Christmas. Don't laugh. I really think that Cousin Eddie's sartorial snap made it to last year's menswear runways. Nice and full, lot of sap. What's up next? How could I do this episode without talking about Fred Astaire? From 1935's Top Hat, I give you his perfectly tailored tuxedo suit, the classic cutaway. What elegant escapism from the Great Depression and the breadlines. If only men still wore tuxedos. I know if they did, Rupert would wear one every time we went out. He loves tuxedos. In fact, he sleeps with one on him every single night. This one. Ooh, was that cheesy? It was. Let's move on. You get two for the price of one with my next offering from 1994's Pulp Fiction with costumes by Betsy Faith Hyman. Of course, these black wool suits with notched lapels, welted breast pockets and jetted hip pockets, as worn by John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. These are classic suits, and they look all the better for being splattered with human remains. Quentin Tarantino is such a referential filmmaker, isn't he? He is such a cinephile. These suits hark back intentionally to Fellini and to Tarantino's own work in his earlier movie Reservoir Dogs. Pass the chapstick because my lips hurt real bad. From 2004 and Napoleon Dynamite. His iconic three-piece 70s statement suit that he wears to the prom. Head of wardrobe was Jerusha Hess. You may remember that this suit was bought in a thrift store. And while shopping with best friend Pedro, Napoleon sees the suit and utters, "It's incredible." It is an incredible suit, and I discuss this suit and all of Jerusha Hess's brilliant wardrobe for Napoleon Dynamite in a Fave Film Fashion episode, which has been removed temporarily from YouTube. There's been a little unpleasantness with Fox Entertainment regarding copyrights, and hopefully this will be resolved very soon and you too can watch the episode. Gosh! I've been working like a dog on this episode. I should be sleeping like a log. Yes, from 1964's Hard Day's Night, I give you what is now known as the Hard Day's Night suit, worn by all four of those lovely lads from Liverpool. It is a shark skin tonic suit with 4 buttons, tightly fitted bum freezer jacket with velvet inlay collar and trimmed jetted pockets. The suit you see here on the left was actually worn by George Harrison in the movie, and that is the label on the inside. So you can see just how beautifully these suits are tailored. Here is a perfect reproduction of the suit by a company called 60sbeatwear.co.uk, and I hope they don't mind that I'm using their image here. The tailor for these suits was Dougie Millings, who actually makes a cameo in Hard Day's Night, and there he is measuring John. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a fashion historian, no time to talk. Yeah, right. How could I do a top 12 of iconic movie suits without going back to 1977 Saturday Night Fever and talking a little bit about John Travolta's white three-piece suit. The costumes for Saturday Night Fever were by Patricia Van Brandenstein, and believe it or not, this suit, which you can see far better in this still here, was purchased off the rack from a menswear store in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. So perfect. I would argue that this is the most iconic white suit in film history, or is it? Oh, you know, I'll use any excuse to get Hervé Villechaize into a UFH. What's next? I am somehow going to resist doing my Sean Connery imitation now. Or am I, Miss Moneypenny? As we go back to 1962 and Dr. No, the first James Bond movie and my favourite James Bond movie. And obviously I'm going to talk about his black dinner suit with silk shawl lapels, silk trim at the cuffs, and jetted pocket. The jacket has vents, and this was quite unusual for a dinner jacket, but James Bond was a man of action, and no doubt he had to have a fist fight with somebody while wearing this. It is so iconic, and what I love about it is that obviously Dr. No was the first James Bond movie, and yet every James Bond wore a version of this iconic black dinner suit. But nobody wore it better than Sean Connery, Miss Moneypenny. And if you're interested, there is, of course, an Ultimate Fashion History 20th Century Style Icons episode on Ursula Andress. What's next? Like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, from 1968's The Thomas Crown Affair, sexy Steve McQueen, and maybe the flashiest suit ever worn on screen. This plaid three-piece suit with a waistcoat without lapels and a one-button fastening on each cuff. Please note how short in the waist the vest is, and flashy enough as it is. Add a watch fob and some great shades. There's few men who could carry off this suit, but I think that Rupert definitely could. But maybe not this one, because there is only one man who could ever carry off this suit. From 1985's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Pee-wee Herman's signature suit. It's Glen plaid, and it's so bizarre. Here it is in all of its ill-fitting glory. The jacket is too tight. The pants are too tight. They are also too short. But bizarre though it all is, it hasn't stopped designer Tom Brown from using it as inspiration time and time again. And now, the number one most iconic suit of all time ever, in my opinion and in the opinion of others. North by Northwest, Cary Grant's Glen plaid grey-blue suit, single-breasted, three-roll two-button closure and notched lapels. It is truly the best suit ever. The tailor was Arthur Lyons of French and Salisbury. This was Cary Grant's own tailor, and he insisted that his own tailor be used. There were 6 versions made of this suit, although a couple of versions were stunt versions that were created in Beverly Hills without the expert tailoring. There were 6 versions of this suit. If I was a man, I'd have 7 versions made and wear it every day of the week. Why would you wear anything else? It is such a perfect suit. Team it with a pair of great shades and a Gibson, and you've got it made. And this suit, along with all of the other wardrobe in North by Northwest, is discussed in an episode of Fave Film Fashion here on the Ultimate Fashion History. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this rather subjective countdown on the ultimate fashion history. You can contact me through my website, amandahallay.com. Join our Facebook group. We always have loads of fun over there. Check out our books at our publishing company, Dean Street Press. I'll be back very soon with more episodes on the UFH. So just click that little circle there. And most importantly, Rupert, happy anniversary, darling.